Hello and welcome to another episode of Standing Killer Projects. In this episode we're going to be changing the brakes and rotors on the 2023 Honda Passport that we have. The reason for that is because of the fact that the rotors have warped on this. We live in an area where my wife does a lot of freeway driving, a lot of hard stop and go traffic. Because of that, even though this only has about 60,000 miles, brake pads are still in pretty good shape. The stock rotors themselves are warped. Because of that, we're going to be putting on drilled and slotted rotors and some ceramic brakes. All right, so all the parts that we got are made by a company called PowerStop, very common brake part company. We have Z23 brakes. They are the ceramic carbon fiber style brake pads, and the part number is Z23-1521. Then for the drilled and slotted rotors is JBR 1590XL for left and then R for right. These are the drilled and slotted rotors themselves. As you can see, they're not super heavy duty slots, but they're drilled all the way through. All this will allow the temperature to dissipate faster on the rotors and thus making it to where it's less likely to warp. All right, so first things first, I have the jack on the lower control arm, and I have a secondary jack stand on the mount for the lower control arm. This gives me stability so that I know that nothing's going to come down and I'm not going to get injured while I'm doing this job. The next thing that we're going to do is remove the tire. This takes 22 millimeter sockets. The socket also, because it's a Honda, has a special security socket that goes along with it. One of them doesn't look like this, and it has to go on that other style socket. The next part of it is we're going to remove off the caliper. To do that, you're going to loosen up the two 14 millimeter bolts here. Sometimes from the factory, when they set these, this ends up causing it to lock up, so you're going to end up putting a 19 millimeter on this and then backing these out. So the next thing that's going to happen is you're going to remove these little wires off of the brake pads themselves, and then you're going to start removing the pads from either side of the brake pad mount. So this bracket is what holds the caliper into place. This is going to have to come off too because we're taking the rotors off of here. So there are two more bolts in the back, which I'll show you when I get them out. So to remove the bracket that holds your caliper on, there are two 3/4 inch head bolts that sit right here and right here that hold this assembly in place. Now that I have this out of the way, which is this guy right here, you would think the rotor comes off, but this is a Honda. So this little Phillips head right here, these get jammed into place. So what you need is a number 3 Phillips and an impact, because what happens is these end up, because of their dissimilarity in metals, they end up rusting themselves to the rotors and then you can't get them off. Once you hit it with an impact and break this loose, you unscrew this little teeny screw and then the rotor comes right off. So once you have the new rotors in place, make sure to put the little Phillips head screw back in. This actually keeps it all held in place in a line for you, so you don't have to do anything to it at this point. You don't even have to put the mounting bracket back in place. If you don't have one of these handy dandy little tools to push back your calipers, C-clamps always work. Usually C-clamps in like a piece of metal or something, because of the fact that this is a twin cup caliper system. Otherwise, if you have one of these, you just crank this until the caps go back. Also, there may be a point where I push too much fluid back into the system. If that's the case, you want to remove the cap off of it so the fluid has someplace to go, and then refill it once you're done. Okay, so once you compress the caliper cups back on the caliper themselves, the brakes are not going to fit in here like they do on a lot of cars. In this case, they're going to mount onto the mount bracket. That's why it has these metal clips on here. As you can see, the metal clips on this have been replaced and the rubber pieces have been replaced. This kit comes with all of them. Some kits only come with the metal parts. It's good to replace any of the parts that you need. This one in particular, I had some tears on it because of the fact that this had rotated. So now that I have this way with all new metal clips in it, I'm going to fit the brakes into the side and put the little metal wire clips that you had seen at the beginning on there also. That'll allow me to fit the caliper over the top of it. There it is, all put back together. As you can see, there's some of their slide loop on the back side of the brake pads. This kit actually asked for it. It goes on the slide pins to allow to help the system work better, and this is to keep noise down. All right, so there it is, done and down. I'm now going to move everything over to the other side and start working on it. Normally at this point I wouldn't continue to show my work, but I've been accused lately of not showing enough of what I'm doing. So what I'd like to try and do is a sped up time lapse of me doing it. I've never done one of these before, so let's see how it works out. Well, hopefully that all worked out and the video ended up coming out good. I want to go over a few things before we're done, so I wouldn't give up on this video just yet. There's some important information. If you're using carbon ceramic brake pads, if you'll notice on here, there is very specific instructions on how to set the brake pads into the new rotors. If you do not do this, your brakes will not perform properly. It is vitally important that you heat set your rotors, and to do that, you either have to read that procedure or know how to do it. If you compressed your calipers and you didn't end up opening the cap and you didn't end up breaking any of the lines loose in the process of doing that, you don't need to do anything. Your brakes pads will end up compressing down against the rotors just fine without doing anything. If you did things that require brake bleeding, bleed the brakes now, because that's vitally important before you take it out and drive it. If you need the torque settings for any of the stuff that I took apart, it's easily found online. If you don't find it online, there's also the old school manuals for them. Any of those will give you what the torque spec settings are. I don't always go over the torque specs unless it's something where it's a hypercritical job. So that's going to do it for this episode of Sandy Color Projects. As always, thank you for watching. If you need parts, they're going to be in the descriptions as always. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. That's what keeps this channel going.